Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. Today we are actually going to be working on something that I don't think I've ever talked about before, but it's our herb garden and raising the soil level. We did this once already in 2022, and I guess we just used soil that was a little bit too rich, like composty, so it kind of sunk again with all the rain we had last winter. So we need to take all the herbs out and we need to fill it with soil that's not going to be so easily compressed, and then put all the herbs back. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So come garden with us today and let's get working on our herb garden. So I haven't really showed much of our herb garden this year because of the problem with the soil sinking. The edge of the bed with the Belgian blocks, the concrete is showing. Our urn is always crooked because the soil is just not, I don't know, it's just not tough enough, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that's the right word, but it doesn't hold together enough to hold the urn up straight no matter what we do. So the soil is all cracked as well. So we have quite a project ahead of us. I think this is going to take more than a day. We're not going to save all of the herbs in here. We're only going to save the hedge of germander and the drops of Jupiter oregano, since that's a decorative herb, and I feel like we have 4 of those in here, and 1 in each quadrant of the herb garden would look really pretty. We'll try to save, I think there's like another oregano and maybe a thyme, and then some random oregano. Oregano is a bit of a thug in the garden, so I feel like it spreads readily. We don't need all that oregano, so we'll try to save 1 or 2 of the other herbs and put them in our raised beds. But for now, let me show you what I'm talking about in this herb garden. So you can see how the soil, now granted it's also because we haven't had any rain, but you can see how soil has cracked. You can see the concrete showing here. That is inside the herb garden, holding the Belgian blocks in place, and the germander is kind of, I don't know if I can pick that up, but the germander is kind of on the edge, so it hasn't sunk as much as the rest of the bed. But yeah, we've kind of just neglected this all season because we knew it was going to be a big project. The oregano needs to be watered, but we're going to cut the drops of Jupiter back as much as we can to kind of distinguish where the 4 plants actually are. And then I have my pinky pollen hydrangeas in here waiting to be placed where it is that they're going to go. But so you can see here, I think this is a thyme, and that's more oregano over there. So I feel like that's the ones we'll probably maybe try to save 1 of. I think there's 2 or 3 there. And we'll try to save the thyme and put those in our raised beds. And you can see if I can get in here. You know, we have block on top of block to try to make our urn straighter, and it's still leaning a little bit. The whole urn, concrete base and all, is all going to get replaced. I have a pot to put the lavender in. The lavender, so it's not, even though this is an herb garden, this is not going to come back. The urn is actually going to go up under our spruce tree there, tucked in and amongst the hydrangeas and the rhododendrons. Then we have something a little bit more herb garden-esque to replace it with. And once we get closer to that point in the project, I will show you that. So my thought is that that urn and its base could tuck neatly in here, in front of that hosta between these 2 boxwoods, and you would actually just see it peeking out from the house at this time of the year anyway, behind the hydrangea in the wintertime. And when everything is dormant, you will be able to see it more. And we have a peachy tea heucherella we bought ages ago that is going to replace the lavender. So this is the planter that I had bought at work several months ago. That's where the lavender is going to go, so that we can use the urn for the heucherella, and I'll show you that now. So this is the heucherella that's going to replace the lavender in the urn. It is called a peach tea heucherella. It is sun to shade, so it can take both. Moderate water needs, 17 inches high, 22 wide. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. Large peachy red leaves contrast beautifully with cream white flowers. This plant is vigorous and compact, yet gives off a glow. And that's what drew me to it. Because up in that shady location, it'll definitely be a bright spot. So while my husband is up there attempting to make the flagstone level that the whole pedestal sits on, I'm trying to plant up the lavender, and it came right out of that urn, shaped just like the urn. See if I can show you that. So I need to take some of the soil out of my little planter here, though. I think I have too much soil in there. What do you think? Okay, I got the lavender planted in the container. I'm just gonna have to water it, and I'm wondering if I should just cut it back. That maybe it'll help it along a little bit, because even though my husband said he's been watering it while I've been at work, it just looks really, really dry, even for lavender. And we did get the urn and the pedestal moved, and we'll just have to get the peach tea heucherella planted. So got the urn nicely tucked in there. You can just see the heucherella peeking up over the top. Obviously it's not planted, I've just placed it in the container. I think that's gonna look really nice there. My husband is doing the shearing back of the 4 drops of Jupiter oregano. He's just quicker at it. You just hold it and clip it. So we can now see the 4 plants. I think we're gonna leave those 2 blocks in the middle. Hopefully the new garden structure we have to go in here fits over those. I feel like the blocks will be good there to hold like a pot or a container if we want to put one in the center of this new garden structure that I'll be showing you later on in the video. I've been trying to determine by smell if this is a thyme or an oregano. The leaves are small. It's got a little purple flower. That one over there is definitely oregano with the big leaves, so I think we're going to save this one. And we're going to save this one, which I think is a thyme. So we've gotten all of the herbs out except for the drops of Jupiter. Those have just been cut back. I watered them really well because the soil is so dry in here. And my husband is just breaking up the soil. And then we will go through and just lay down some additional soil. We have 16 bags of...
4's already been put in here.
Oh, 4. So 4 is in the quadrant that you can see. That's a little bit darker right here. So is that enough to have raised it, or do you think we're going to need... So we assumed 4 bags of soil for each quadrant, and then 1 of the drops of Jupiter will go in each quadrant, and then we will put that new garden structure in the center. Try to get some soil underneath some of the germander. I think I'd already said. Some of it seems to have sunk more than... Like where my husband is working right now, they don't seem to have settled so much, but the ones over on that side seem to have... That side of the herb garden seems to have really settled, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But we have the oregano over there in pots and thyme, and we're actually going to give it away. Friends, family, neighbors, whoever might want it. I might even bring some into work and see if anybody wants some. explain what was going on. So obviously all of the dirt is in. You can see the center. He's made round holes in each quadrant where he's going to plant 1 drops of Jupiter oregano. What else? So, and where the lines are, I don't know if you can actually see them. He's made lines in the soil. That's where the stepping stones go, so that you can actually walk through the herb garden. It is 10 feet in diameter, I think, on the inside. And then the Belgian block is another, I don't know, 4 inches. But so each one of those circles is going to receive a drops of Jupiter oregano, which will give us a little bit of soil extra. I think he thinks we should have bought more bags. I think 16 was enough. So at this point, it's getting pretty late. My husband's got all of the heavy work done. Obviously, you see the drops of Jupiter oregano have been replanted. The one on the left, it was in a really dry spot, so it looks really bad. We watered it really well. He's going to water them all again. Obviously, we're not going to get the stepping stones in tonight, so we're not going to get the mulch done. We'll pick that up probably, today's Wednesday. I have to work Thursday and Friday, so supposed to have a little bit of wet weather Saturday. Maybe we'll come out here Friday. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to finish this up. All right, so second to the last part of this project is to get the urn planted with the peach tea heucherella. So I'm gonna take it out of the urn and fill it up. I have my paint bucket filled with some dirt. I think it's enough. And then we'll just get this planted. I think it's still well watered enough. Maybe some of the leaves can be cleaned up. I'll just pull them out real quick. This poor thing's been sitting around here for, I don't know. When did we buy this? June, maybe? May, June? I don't know. It's been a while. Okay, let's see if this is going to be enough soil. It really isn't easy getting in here. Hopefully this is the last time we have to do this. I want it high enough so that you can see it peeking through when we are in the house. Too high. Never a happy medium. I didn't bring any biotone, but I think it's okay since we're putting this thing in a container. I don't really want it to root in really quickly. Now, I took it out of the container, and as you can see, a lot of the soil fell off. So now I need to get some more soil in here. Keeps falling apart. Trying to get the peachiest, orangiest leaves to face the house. How's it look?
fine.
Think I need more soil?
Probably.
Right on the edges. I'm going to step back, see how that looks. That leave a little bit. Just going to pluck that one off. All right, I'll come up and clean that up and water that later. But all right, looks good. I just stood back a little bit here to see what it looks like, and I really do like that. Now, if you've watched the video for this long, you may have noticed that this project was mostly done by my husband. I did help move the urn and the pedestal here, and that was quite a job. Very, very heavy, much heavier than I was anticipating. I don't know if this is a Massarelli or a Campagna, but seriously heavy. I think we rolled the pedestal into the wheelbarrow down at the herb garden. Then we had to get it up the hill up here. It was quite heavy, but I'm glad this is done and it's in its place. So this is the reveal of the garden. I guess you could call it. It's an obelisk. This is going to replace the urn in the herb garden. This is from Gardener Supply. It's a new item for them. I really liked the color. It's unique. And I feel like it's very lightweight. So even if the soil settles again in the herb garden, this should, in theory anyway, remain upright. Just hold the box down so my husband can get it out. And this is called the Oxford Pyramid Trellis. Again, it is metal, it is not wood. It's a really pretty light sage green. And I just feel like it's going to bring that cottagey look, that English cottagey garden look to the herb garden. It's taken two of us to get all of the wrapping off of this, which is why I stopped filming for a bit. I think this bit's going to be more difficult. So I'm going to go inside and get scissors. Nice and tall too. I think it'll give some height to this side of the garden, since everything over here is kind of flat. On the left side, we're looking in this direction. We have the arbor, we have our deck that's up off the ground a few feet with the umbrella, and then over here everything's kind of ground level. Did it come with like, yeah, it came with a little Allen wrench, and there's two screws to connect the base to the top.
Looks like it came with one extra screw.
and an extra screw. My husband, stand up straight. He is 5'9", so I'd say that's 6 feet. Add another 3 inches. And quite honestly, I feel like that lavender pot will fit underneath there. And actually, my container that I transplanted the lavender in is the same color, so that's great.
We'll just have to straighten that out.
See if I can get the whole perspective here. This where the herb garden's quite wide to try to get in completely. Maybe if I sit on the steps of my deck. So yeah, I like it. It's a new look for here. We're just going to get this staked in and finish up. So here's one last look at our new herb garden structure. Hopefully, like I said, this 1 drops of Jupiter oregano recovers. I mean, there used to be a lot of growth in there, a lot of new growth at the bottom. I see a lot of green, so it's just going to take a while for that to come back. And actually, you know, it might not even be this year, but I really like the way this turned out. Thanks for coming along today on another project. I'm Desiree.
And I'm Rob.
And it was mostly Rob's project.
And thank you for watching.
We're the Restless Gardeners. See you in the next one. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.